What's up, everybody? Well, we're back. We are back after our little sabbatical, and we're excited to be back on top here. The OGs, the original Arkives cast, after a tremendous job by the women of Ark, who they did a great job filling in. Be honest with you, fellas, I was a little bit nervous about that we were going to get our spots back. But I am your host, Matthew Pomara. Joining me is, of course, our producer extraordinaire, the man in the gold jacket, the one and only Tino Patino III. And, of course, your returning champion, Chris Vaccaro, who is excited to be back. And, again, were you guys concerned that we wouldn't get our spots back?
Yes, they did a great job.
You can't answer that seriously. You can't take out the OGs. There is no Archives without us.
I don't know, man. They seem like they wanted. They seem like they had our spot. So yeah, that was pretty good though. They did a great job. I was proud of them, and yeah. But I'm glad to be back. Super excited. Extremely busy time in the world of ARC right now. And let's dive right in. The thing that's on everyone's mind, of course, is school budget votes. Stayed up. I was texting with you guys up until just around midnight when I finally nodded off. So, yeah, let's talk about the budgets.
You know, it was great that internal art communication of, hey, they won. Here's the outcome. Here's who won the school board. We're reporting it to the media outlets. We've posted our graphics. We're happy for the client. There was a great, when we started this thing 15 something months ago, there's only a few. Now all of a sudden there's a dozen plus, and everybody is a very personal connection to us. The superintendents, the business officials, the people in the trenches, and so it was like a really happy moment. But it was, once 9:01 hits, it's go time for a solid 2 hours of content creation, information reporting, distribution to the community. Most of it is a social post with a graphic for the consistent strategy. But then there's the bonds, a couple of districts with the bond votes. Yeah. That's where it was really fun. And, got a really, I would say it's a privilege to work with these districts and what we do to help foster the educational experiences and environments through the storytelling. But it really matters when the bond vote is out there and you got to create the strategy. And we know Tino was heroic with Montauk and their bonds a few months back, but we had two big ones in this stretch. So I was in charge of the Remsenburg strategy, and Tino this time around with the East Hampton strategy. And I'd say it's fun. First and foremost, it's fun to be able to develop a strategy to help a client to tell their story of what should impact the community. And it's a funny, there is a fine line, but there's not. This is a good thing. And no matter what the community is, The bond is generally a good thing. I mean, now some of it's semantics. It's like, oh, we're talking about boilers or roofs. That's okay, that's not as fun. But when you're talking about fields,
it's needed.
Schools, and libraries and restructuring buildings for the next generation of schools, of students, it's needed. And it was, it's fun to tell that story. It's not difficult to tell that story. Where we come in, where our strength is as a company now, we visualize it. We put multimedia to it. It's very consistent. It pops. You can't go more than 48 hours for the 2 weeks before it and when you're seeing it all. But you can go back 5 months and go, oh, wow, there was content about that leading up to it for months. We drove to the website where we created the bond link and URL. You can go there to see the beautiful graphics that explain exactly what happens if this thing passes, and so on and so forth. So, it's a crazy stretch. When you're in the middle of it, you're like, get me out of this thing, please pass. Just get me to the other finish line. But when you're there, you're like, you know what? It is gratifying. And I'm thrilled for the students who get to benefit from the work that went into making sure these things pass. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And just looking at it, I'm proud of the fact that we were involved in some of the, most transformative bonds. Certainly on the East End, but on all of Long Island, I'd say we were definitely there. Just great work by both of you. Super impressed with the work ethic and stuff. look, we did great on the budgets. Working with a lot of the schools. Elephant in the room. We go 7-2, but we good, but a great job, and just super excited about it. So all the work that we did and all the work that our team did as well, for Mineola, for Herrick's, just to get out there and get it done, unbelievable. Tino, you want to put a word in on East Hampton, because that was a Herculean number. And the fact that you guys got through it is unbelievable, and you crushed it. It wasn't even a question of like you squeaked by. It was more of a Roman coronation than than just a positive vote.
Yes, sir. And it was awesome to be a part of something like this. Chris alluded to Montauk as well. Different field, different community, right? Obviously same area, but every project has its own specific feel in which it deserves for those communities. East Hampton was no different. Everyone was feeling happy, positive, encouraging and accepting about what the vote was leading into it. But I'll tell you guys what, this is a story that I love to share because 8 p.m. hits or whenever the case was when the voting was closed, and we're sitting in there in this room and we're hearing them count the votes. And then I'm hearing, hey, we may take until 11 or 12 to count all of these votes. And they break up into groups and you're just hearing yes, 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 no, yes, no. And it was very just taxing because
So they did it out loud?
For us behind the scenes.
Yeah.
They had to calculate
That's
it.
Crazy though.
Yeah, it was insane being in that room. Just the suspense of it all, right? You have this hope, you have this promise, right? Based off what we've seen on social and obviously in person, that it's going to go the right way. But after each vote, you can't count them all in your head. So luckily, what I was able to do was work on the fly, get graphics ready, talk about Montauk passing their budget vote, in which we mentioned here as well on this graphic. And ultimately, at the end of the night, no better feeling than hearing the numbers read aloud, being all together, and everyone just celebrating for something that they deserve. It's Prop 1. Yes, you see the building outline there smallly on this graphic, but Prop 2, you can see it big and wide. It is the rendering of the indoor pool facility, a pool in which the East Hampton swimmers, anyone from across the community, Montauk, East Hampton, they can all come together to congregate in this pool. But East Hampton specifically, those Bonnick swimmers are nationally ranked. They're going out, being there and going to states and things like that. And that's what they deserve. They deserve their own pool if they're going to be that elite level of competition for athletics as well. And continuing with the indoor athletic facility, I'm really proud of, working with Adam Fine, superintendent, Sam there as well, Schneider. And it's just been an awesome time to come together for something like this, and seeing the community get the job done just like how we do for them is a perfect culmination of a great school year thus far.
Yeah, that's great stuff. Too, is I'll tell you where I dropped the ball today. We should have put Adam Fine's elementary school picture in the archives, because I did send it to Sam after as a congratulations. I sent it to Sam afterwards. He's just a brilliant guy, amazing guy to talk to, was terrific to us, provided us with a great reference. So we're super excited for them. I've known Adam literally almost 50 years. Well, no, less than that, probably 45 years I've known Adam. So I couldn't be happier for him. So great stuff. Super excited
on the show, and he was interested, so he's going to be a future guest on Arkives whenever the time makes sense.
Yeah, that would have been good. I really wanted him, so that's what we'll save that picture. We'll save the picture. We'll just get him. We'll
surprise him. Yeah.
So we'll surprise him. Chris, you want to hit on Remsenburg, the bond, because we had a bond in Remsenburg too.
Yeah, no, it was great. It's a transformative bond in that it's gonna add a turf field for baseball, softball. It's going to upgrade the playground, and it's going to add a brand new wing on the building for a brand new library, because they've been operating out of actually a trailer that's attached to the back of the building for something like 30 years. And there's no communal park or playground that people in Remsenburg Beyond go to. They go to the school. So when you talk about the strategy of how to communicate the effort and the need, it was very much, well, the school is literally the center of the community for parents and kids and even grandparents that take their kids there that are from the area. So that was the message. This is more than just your school building. It's your community meeting place and fields and parks all in one. So let's upgrade it. And it was a $2 million bond. So it's vastly different in terms of size of a number compared to the $68 million bond in East Hampton or the 30-something million dollar bond in Montauk. But still, the impact to Remsenburg's Beyond community is tremendous. And you can't put a price on the memories and the moments that are about to happen and continue to happen in those schools. And that's all led by Denise Sullivan, the superintendent, who was, of course, nervous about it throughout the process of making sure we cross our T's and dot our I's. But she was wonderful to work with, and we were very consistent in our messaging up until the very last minute, and passed with flying colors. So again, happy to help them. If you do the math, and you can attribute almost all of those millions to Tino and his efforts, but it's well over $100 million in bond passage of those referendums and votes in less than 6 months. That ARC has helped the clients in the trenches, and I want to keep that number growing, but that's not something to bat an eye at. In year one of our existence as a division within this company, we came to the plate ready to swing, helped the clients tremendously, did it with a more, future-facing approach to storytelling with consistently beautiful graphics and visuals that really, we believe, push the ball over the goal line. And so, yeah, we talk about ourselves on this video for a reason. We want people to see it, and it's a living, breathing example of stuff that we do so we can continue to build our client roster. But we really do stand on our work and our efforts because it's different than what other people do.
We want to showcase our clients. Like that's the one part about this. Like people always use the word partner and stuff like that. Like with you, we are legitimately partnering with our clients. We're working closely with them. A lot of them have become our friends. Like it's just an amazing experience. And this has been just, for me personally, and again, being at this for as long as I have, this has been some of the best times I've had in my career over the last few months, specifically, around Montauk too, because, although I still haven't forgiven Josh about the way he did the numbers, but that was still one of the best moments of my career. And I just, I'm super excited. And I'll share a quick funny story with you both. So, I live out here on the East End of Long Island, and we were, had a small get together at somebody's house, and they mentioned, I said something, I shared a story about us, talking about how we work on bonds for schools. And one of the guests who didn't really know who I was like, just like, what you guys should do is like, you should look at Remsenburg. They did like a tremendous job with their bond. Like they really were consistent. And I'm like, tell me more. Like, and of course I did the big reveal. Like, it was us. Like, so, but it was like, kind of giving me a few pointers, and it was our work that they were using as the pointers. So really exciting stuff. Super cool. Any last words on the budgets? You want to move on? You want to hit on any?
Well, one last thing I want to say, and I think you guys said it beautifully about our partnerships. Our partnerships are relationships. I'm a NASCAR guy. I'm watching the biggest NASCAR race of the year, and Josh Odom's texting me, telling me, superintendent of Montauk, telling me that he's locked in watching it too. It's just cool stuff like that, to where obviously we talk during the week, about work stuff and planning and strategizing and posts and bond and budget. But it's like now, like Matt said, there are friends that we have these real connections, and we care about the work we're doing. And that's what separates us even more. Just wanted to throw that in because it's true.
Awesome. All right. So let's talk about academic and athletic achievements.
For sure. Well, first one, I'll lead off here. Just awesome stuff out of East Hampton for senior Charlie Stern, being recognized by News 12, Section 11, Kevin Mayer as well for the latest News 12 Scholar Athlete of the Week. Charlie is a force on the football field and a driving force behind the idea to get rid of all single-use plastics at the school. He's also the salutatorian with a 98 GPA. I've seen this kid grow throughout his time at East Hampton. Now, I haven't, just throughout the past year, but even that alone has been awesome. Seeing him getting these recognitions that he deserves and being able to do our job and amplify it to the community, to the masses, and just continue to get more eyeballs on him. And he's going to do great things when he gets to college as well. And the other one we have next to it is from Wheatley, East Williston, within there, junior earning international recognition there. So it's just awesome to see.
Yeah, Regeneron, the Regeneron is, that's a different league.
It's a big deal. Big deal.
I can't even imagine. And what an amazing job by this young lady who was able to earn that, because that's just such a high honor, and it shows all the great stuff that's going on over at East Williston. It's like a bastion of learning. Like, you just see the stuff going on there. I love running around the school there. I love being over there. So very, very cool spot to be.
It's funny. It's like there's literally 3 to 5 important things that happen a day for every single one of our clients. So it's like one thing is tough to boil down, but this is a good one because one of the teachers in the district who teaches at Grundy Elementary, one of the national finalists through Crumble, the cookie company. They have something dedicated towards the teacher of the year, but nationally. So 60,000 something nominations, and she was one of the top 8 in the country. So there was a little ceremony. They presented her a check for the school and recognition and cookies, of course. So just this stuff happens all day, every day for all of our clients. But that one really stands out as like there's hundreds of thousands, millions of teachers to get a national recognition like that means something. And usually those nominations and applications are done by students. So it always makes the most sense and sounds the best when it's coming from the heartfelt story of somebody that teacher impacted in the classroom. So, and then Matt, this is a really cool, very new campaign that we rolled out recently too.
Yeah. So working in conjunction with Locust Valley School, we're doing a project-based engagement with them. And one of the things that we've been working on is a new school slogan. The students did vote. We got a chance to interview with, actually he was supposed to be on the show today, but he got dragged into a meeting with Tony Palmieri, who works for us, one of our partners, great guy, works really hard. I know him through the boxing business. He's actually the attorney who filed the injunction to get us back on the show. So we're, no, I'm just kidding on that part. But he is an attorney though. But he did a great job, put together a whole thing. I know who won. I don't want to do a spoiler, so I won't say who won. But I know the slogan that won. The students were phenomenal. I had such a good time because I captured a lot of the interviews myself. So that was cool. And then I missed the next day. Tony went and worked in all the primary schools with the students, and those were even better. They were hysterical. So we had just a great experience. Dr. Turnow, and again, this just a tiny spoiler alert. So tiny spoiler alert. Dr. Turnow recorded the slogan today. She was, I was supposed to be there with them, which I'm kind of disappointed I couldn't go, but then Chris and I were supposed to handle something for a district that's going through a bit of a rough patch. So I had to get back here, but they recorded it today. I heard the footage is phenomenal. I can't wait to see it. So great job by Locust Valley. We're excited too to be working with them on The Leader in Me, the 7 Habits of Stephen Covey. So should be a big moment. There's another good one. So that's Igor D'Souza. He is one of the ARC turns. Igor is he won one of the asset scholarships, and I'm excited. He's been a great asset to that program, no pun intended. Doing a lot of great work for us. He filled in on what's in the name. He's done basically everything we've ever asked of him. And the bad news for him is he's not rid of me because my son is going back to Binghamton in the fall, and that's where Igor will be going. Yeah, so he's bright. He's a super bright kid, and he did a great job. So I got to talk about the program, how the ARC turns play into this and help us, but as well as I got to address the asset group. I was very grateful to my good friend Dr. Whitney Smith, who for the invite. So just a lot of fun, great time getting to talk about it, and I was so proud of Igor. And speaking of ARC turns, we had the ARC turns had their final, I guess it would be their capstone project last year. And again, Chris and I are partial to last year's capstone project because it was us in a Godfather video that we got to. By the way, we got to put that on the media site because I've had a bunch of people ask me about it. So so basically, the students' capstone project this year was written and directed by Richard Davidson and Devin Steiner. So why don't you roll that tape?
I'm Devin Steiner. I'm a senior at Mineola High School, and I'm an ARC Technology Consultants intern. And we're here today at the Synergy Cafe to interview the new interim superintendent, Mrs. Fishman. So, Mrs. Fishman, as part of our internship, we are asked to produce this video, and thank you for giving us this opportunity. I wanted to ask you, what do you think of this internship program?
Well, thank you for having me. This is by far the best part of my job is talking to students. That's why I have this job, right? That's what it was created for. In terms of internships, I feel that it's one of the best things we do in the high school. What I love about your internship specifically is exactly this, what we're doing here. This is a technology internship, right? Mm-hmm. You would think it's all about hardware and software, but you learn about sales and marketing and communications, all the human elements as well. So you get a really well-rounded internship and you learn about what you're good at.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so they wrote the questions. Devin did him and Richard, they put out a poll, and the ARC turns as well. They put out a poll into the community and got questions back. And they asked the questions, and Richard, he produced the whole video. So he shot it. We used 3 different cameras. He did a tremendous job, and put the whole thing together. And I give interim superintendent Fishman a lot of credit because number one, it was outside of her comfort zone, right? So her predecessor was very public facing. She was more the person that does the work behind the scenes. She's a tremendous person, just one of the nicest and most brilliant educators I've ever had the privilege of working with. So she's done a tremendous job. And then she didn't do one retake. We had a couple of retakes. The ARC team, we had a couple of retakes. She didn't need one retake. She got everything on the first take. Yeah. Second thing is she leaned in on every single question. And some of the questions were a little uncomfortable, to be perfectly frank, with our listening audience. There were some questions that I was like, there's no way that we're going to get this through. And to her credit, she was like, look, I don't want softball questions. I don't want you to just, ask me cliches and stuff like that. I want to answer the hard questions. And she does. I encourage everybody to watch it. I'll tell you what, we'll put it in the comments below. Mm-hmm. So you can link to that one as well. So just an awesome job. I'm very proud of the team. The internship was canceled today because it was senior cut day. And next week is our last day is pizza. Chris, you'll get to go and have pizza with us because we're meeting with the district as well. So just a great group.
Awesome. Love it. They deserve that cut day too. Good for them.
Yeah, it's like the third one though. I gotta be honest with you. I think
it's like
Friday was cut day too, by the way, just so you know.
All right. That's too much.
Seniors can leave schools in most districts at like 11:30 now. It's like there's no I don't understand. It wasn't like that for me, and early 2000s. I don't know if it was like that for you, Tina, but it's drastically different. Especially, I mean, when Matt was in high school, it was an open campus. Like you could actually drive and come back. So now it's like you leave the doors, you can't go back unless you're an athlete or a musician doing something after. But like the senior cut days, the amount of holidays, and the leaving school at 11 something, it's like you could have a full-time job at 17 years old with benefits and work 40 hours a week. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was done my senior year. I was done at 12:15. I was done for the day at 12:15, and that was with a pretty sizable course load. But I was, but yeah, so that's pretty funny. And you're right. We would go to the pizza place, or we would drive to McDonald's, which had just opened, by the way, and or the Burger King over there. You guys know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, pretty wild stuff. And that campus, the Synergy campus, is very much like a college campus. It's kind of come and go. Work on your schedule and stuff. So very cool. Good stuff. All right. In the immortal words of Jim Mora, playoffs.
Yeah,
we had the playoffs, school sports in the playoffs. Catch me up on what's going on around the patch in the athletics.
It's we're midstream, or I guess we're a little further than midstream. There's a lot going on right now. There's too many teams, there's too many sports, and it's a flurry of activity this week alone, and especially on Sachem's side, because there's 2 schools and God knows how many teams. You have Sachem softball is the number 1 team in the county, so they have a good chance to not just win counties, but they're arguably the best team in the state right now. So we'll see about Long Island Championships, state championships. There's really good video highlights that have been posted the last couple weeks on the WSHR Sachem accounts by our student journalists, and they're every single time we put up highlights. Forget the interviews, just the highlights of a bunch of home runs from softball girls. 20,000 views a pop, like no doubt about it. It's unbelievable. Sachem East girls flag football is in the county championship this week against Hills. There you see Aiden Asaro, drastically bigger than the girl he's interviewing there, but great kid. It says Sachem East is number 2 seed playing against Hills, number 1 seed in the county. The quarterback at Hills, by the way, this is not an error of what I'm about to say, has thrown for over 10,000 yards in her career. So I believe she's a 4-year starter, and do the math on 2,500 yards per season. Essentially, it's crazy. I saw that the other day, and I'm like, well, that can't be right. That can't be right. But they just fling the ball every single play for her entire career. So that's going to be tough for Sachem East, but it's at home. What is supposed to be a neutral site is actually at Sachem East. It was already planned that way, so that's good for them. Okay. And then Sachem North boys lacrosse, number 2 team in the county. They're hosting Ward Melville on Wednesday in the county semifinals. That's huge.
Yeah, I can't stand Ward Melville. I hope they kill him.
Not many people can from this community. So Sachem versus Ward Melville for a good old school throwback game. Winner goes to the county final, probably against Northport, which is the top seed. Again, that's a tough one, but it's one game at a time. We'll see what happens. And then you have some East Hampton updates there as well.
Yep. The Bonnet girls softball team playing as we're recording this right now as we speak. Last game, though, I can speak to this. They got down early, seeing a little bit of adversity, and then won 22-7. So they're locked in. Been awesome to follow that program along. And, a funny picture of them all together in the middle, but it's that team chemistry that they got going. You can see it in person, but then again, distributed on social media as we do, just amplifying the message, getting the community to come out and support them whenever they can, and continuing to follow along this awesome run that they're on. So it's been great to see from that standpoint for them.
Yeah, and that last picture there on the right is really unique. So Sachem does something called the Sachem Games, which I was able to cover the other day. It's the best physical education students from the 10 elementary schools compete with their schools against all the other schools. It's all hosted at Sachem North. It's like, physical fitness, presidential physical fitness test type stuff, push-ups, sit-ups, jumping, running with buckets of sand, jump ropes, like some aggressive bear crawl things, like, real physical, put you to the test and test your agility. And Winona Elementary won. It's just the second time they've hosted this year 2 of the event. But the best part for me, my son was on the Winona team. So he's a 5th grader. and there's no parents allowed at these events. So I was the one informing the community in real time as it was unfolding. And I was just proud to see my son get after it. And then, it's not like there's a scoreboard. You don't really see. It's all being added up in real time by a couple of officials, gym teachers. And we found that at the end. So I captured the whole thing. And, we got video. We got really unique video packages with the students talking about what it meant to them. I did interview my son because I know he would be good on camera. And it was great. He was like, it was just great to be out there with my classmates, competing with them, for them, saying all the right things. Like, no media training in this house. He's been living, it's in his blood. And it was really cool to see. So I was just so excited for him, but more excited that again, Sachem's doing something so unique. Every school should do this. This is not like a field day event. This is like the kids that the school that won got after it in the sense of physicality, which is not something you talk about today. Not something, we don't want to play dodgeball. We don't want to offend anybody. Oh my God, somebody can lose and win something on that field in 90-degree humid weather on the turf. Those kids were aggressive and the most physical specimens of fifth graders, which make no mistake about it, the kids on that field are going to be the same kids that are going to be powering varsity teams in the years.
Oh yeah,
middle school.
That's why it's a great program. That's why it's a great
really
program.
Cool. There's a bigger picture here. Physical education actually does make difference. It's not just about getting kids off the couch. It's about teamwork and character and doing something bigger than yourself. And so I saw it firsthand, and Ark was there to deliver the message.
No, it's also, look, the boys, are absolutely on fire right now over in Mount Sinai, setting a school record. Just they have great athletics there. That's a little hidden gem of a school district. And, my son competed against them in football when he was in school. And they're always tough. They really bring it. So great work for Dan, Vincent, Nick, and Nick. By the way, so you saw that one of the kids is Nick Vaccaro, by the way, Chris. So,
I just saw that on there.
Yeah.
No relation, but I'm sure he's an absolute legend stud.
All right. I think we're almost there. What else we have to what else do we have to hit on here? Let's go after it here.
Yep. So shouting out to all of our other great partners and clients out there, JLC, Telechoice, Gercio, everyone in between and all around that continues to create content with us, help us out, help us help them. It's just awesome, to be a part of something like that with all these different great people within, we talk about these school districts at, rightfully so at length, but then we also have these other great relationships out there across Long Island.
Yeah, I can tell you this. So we're going to launch in the fall. We're going to do ARC Webinar Wednesday, and we're going to bring in some of these partners to come in and speak to our clients and prospects and people that want to talk and share their message and bring in information. I talked to Adam Kleinberg over at Gercio, so we expect him to be doing a webinar. We've got a great lineup. I can't wait to roll that out. Our next archives will probably have the straw man of what we're going to present, plus the ARC team too. We're going to have a lot of the great resources at ARC. So super excited about that, and we'll get at it. And one of them that I'm most excited about is, of course, JLC. We're going to have Ray and hopefully Vincent are going to do a presentation for us for Webinar Wednesday. So stay tuned to that. All right. What else we have? I think we're there, right?
That's it. I mean, unless we want to just keep mentioning how we're Long Island's fastest growing media agency with technology helping make it all happen. There's been more clients added since the last time we said this. And there's a list of other ones, knock on wood, to come because it's all happening and we're not stopping and we're getting stronger and we're adding people to the team, which is helping with the workload and making our clients even more happy and more consistent with their storytelling. So let's go. Like
slow controlled growth. I think it's great. The one I'll throw one out that we're going to start up sometime. And again, it'll be on next month's archives is Noyak Golf Club. So we're getting into the sports business. I know it's something that's near and dear to Chris's heart and my heart. And I know Tino is super excited about it because he's going to be a big part of that strategy. But yeah, we have the Noyak Golf Club. I was borderline stalking them when it was time to try to get the contract. I literally took a picture. I parked and took a picture on the fence line. So I don't necessarily recommend that as a business strategy, but it was in this case it kind of worked. But I'm super excited to have
We've
that.
done it before, by the way. It didn't work the other time.
Yeah, so we're batting 500. We're batting 500. We did do that. You're right. We stopped it in front of a school.
That actually didn't go well at all after the fact. We won't share the rest of that story, though.
Yeah, that's a true fact. All right, Tino, last word, and then we'll Chris, you can close it up for us.
No place I'd rather be, no guys I'd rather be talking to on my birthday here today. Got the gold jacket on, repping the WSHR, and I'm just happy to be a part of Arc Media, Arc Technology, anything Arc. That's where I'm at, and I love to be there with everyone. Thank you.
I didn't know. We didn't know it was your birthday.
I didn't know. We would have done this in person at a place and done it at a restaurant.
Anyway, my parting words besides happy birthday, Tino, and thank you for your efforts are. Let's use the summer to be effective and strategic, and some wise words of wisdom from some other business associates of mine in the past have always said, the summer is not a time to relax. The summer is the time to be strategic so that the growth is there for the following year. So yes, we'll take a breather because this school year has been eye-opening and very, content laden, pushing our limits as far as we can go with the amount of stories that we're telling and making the clients as happy as we can. But while I'm excited for that breath, I'm also excited for retooling and continuing to get stronger because this is where we make our difference. And the fact that, we just teased that idea of Noyak, and what that means is, we talk a lot about schools, but as you saw from TeleChoice and JLC and Guercio, there's just so much ahead. Our formula is cross and multidiscipline, meaning, let's rep a golf course, but there's small businesses out there. There's really large businesses. We can help everybody when the time is right strategically. So excited about what's ahead, and let's finish off this school year strong.
All right, awesome. If you like what you heard today, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Give us a like. It goes a long way. We kind of need that. And this has been Arkives. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next month.